How does viewing pornography affect us spiritually?
Woo!
It's getting hot in here.
Woo! You know, my understanding now is that Buddhahood, enlightenment, self-realization, whatever word you want to give it, it takes no form. So ultimately, it's not I do this and this and I'm enlightened and now I'm like this and now porn is out of my life, right? It's not a generalization that, oh, once you become enlightened, you're going to stop watching porn. You know, it's just, for me, a movement. It's a part of life, you know? It's, we are sexual beings, you know, and we are very much stimulated by intense imagery of sex. And for me, I had a long battle with porn and my porn habits, you know, because as I started getting deeper into my spiritual practice, I was still watching porn, and then I was like, but I shouldn't be watching porn because I'm supposed to be enlightened, I'm supposed to, you know, be exemplifying deepened states of consciousness, you know, and I'm experiencing this bliss, but I'm still watching porn, you know, it just took, it like ate away at my soul, you know, and there were times where like I would just drop the judgment and just watch porn and it would be okay, and there were other times when I could clearly see that there was really no love in it and it's just all for show, and like the woman in the porn is not being treated like the goddess that she is, you know, like touched with presence and love and the highest intention, you know, being touched from the core of existence, you know, it's being touched, she's being touched from a place of lust, a place of show, like we're trying to put this on a pedestal and show it to you, and it's just so fake, you know, and I could see that, and it would just be like, oh man, like is this against my spirituality? And now I'm just like, hey man, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and if porn helps you do that, that's cool. And if you practice meditation and you watch porn, wonderful. If you practice meditation and you don't watch porn, cool. It's all up to the individual, you know. Maybe you watch porn and you're still able to look at women with love and light. Maybe you watch porn and you're not able to do that.
So you mentioned like sometimes you would be able to do it without judgment, and then other times you wouldn't be able to. So maybe that has to do with like there's sometimes for something and there's sometimes to not do something.
Let's say that again.
It's so you're saying like sometimes you'll be able to stay away from a judgment and attachment as you're watching porn,
yeah.
And then other times it just like felt conflicted. I know sometimes I'll like watch something and then all of a sudden I'll just be like, for some reason I don't know what happened here, I'm just like not comfortable watching this. I don't know if this woman she's acting and she's not necessarily comfortable in this. There's something I'm feeling that just isn't right to watch this particular one right here.
Sure.
So I'll go to another one or get something to eat.
Sure. For me, you know, there would be times where like, well, after I read Osho's book Sex Matters, I was just like, it's been a journey in.
Is that an audiobook?
I think it is.
Oh, cool.
You might be able to find it as an audiobook.
Sex does matter.
All of his books are transcriptions of what he spoke, so he never wrote anything. But he talks about making sex something sacred, you know? And for me, you know, is watching porn respecting the sacredness of sex? You know, watching two other people embark on this intimate journey. There was this girl, I think her name was Barbara, I don't know her last name, but she was like, sex isn't just about stimulation or pleasure. It's about the most intimate sharing possible. Right? So is watching porn and watching two people do this, is that respecting the sacredness of sex? And I mean, if I had to say it, I would say no, probably not. But then there were times when I would watch it and I would still be thinking about how sacred it is, and the way that I would touch myself and I would touch my lovely penis, and the nice things I would say to my penis, and while I was watching porn, you know, almost seemed to like still be able to respect the sacredness of sex. So again, it all goes back to like, what is your state of mind when you're watching porn? Because, you know, is it one of lust or is it one of good intention? And I do honestly feel like that as I continue this path, eventually I will drop porn altogether. But it's like, you know, as I've been conditioned so long in my life. I've been watching porn since I was like 7 years old, man. You know, this is the first generation that that kids have had access to internet, you know, and like all I'm seeing when I'm a kid is all this sexual imagery, and I'm just like, what is this thing called sex? And why do I feel so good when I see a naked women and you know, looking up naked pictures of Britney Spears when I'm 7 years old, and like, you know, just watching porn pretty much like the majority of my life, and then the last 5 years coming into a more spiritual state of being, and then having a conflict with that, like trying to go beyond that. But right now I've just given up judgment, you know, and if I watch porn, I watch porn, and that's it. But I've definitely gotten to the point where like I don't watch it compulsively, and it's become like way less of it's way less. And you know, there are actually many times on my path when I was trying to stop masturbating altogether, because I was very influenced by like martial art masters in Tai Chi, or you know, even yogis who talked about holding in this creative power, you know, because sometimes I would ejaculate and it would be on my hand, and I would just recognize the power there is in my hand, you know. Each one of these little sperm can create a human that then is talking to you about porn and masturbation and spirituality, you know. And
co-create a human.
Yeah, huh?
Co-create a human.
Yeah. So that's a lot of power there, you know.
So one thing for me, it's about permission. I think I told you at one point I spiritually ask permission. I don't go up to somebody and say, hey, is it okay if I masturbate about you? Yeah. Girl at Starbucks, is it okay if I masturbate you? I ask permission. And from there, you would think a lot of times the women that are in porn, there's some level of permission there. That's why for the longest time I never watched sex tapes, like the ones when celebrities had something out there and there was sex tapes, because there wasn't that permission there and it was exploited. And then I just got caught up like that stuff like everybody else.
For sure.
Yeah. So
definitely, man, definitely. But then it's like, even like, are these women, some of these women are probably doing it because they like it, but some of them are probably doing it because their economic situation has forced them to find work in some way or another. But I will say that as I become more grounded in my center, and as I become, you know, more surrendered to God and more surrendered to awareness, the less and less I feel the urge to watch porn. That doesn't mean my sexual drive has gone away. It's actually increased, but but the less and less
somebody's saber rattling. Oh, sorry. Oh, so you're still here.
The less I want to watch porn, for sure, and the more I just want to, you know, make love with the goddess, you know, and just save that energy for that very sacred temple, or even just making love to myself, you know, and just touching myself with that presence and touching myself with that love, you know, because as that deepens, you know, the love and the presence that I bring to a goddess will also deepen. So that's really where I'm headed at now, you know. So I'm not beating myself up, you know.
He's not beating himself off. I mean, up.
You know, I'm not cutting myself anymore like I used to. You know, if it happens, it happens, and it gets incorporated, it gets integrated, and then I'm going to just continue working on surrendering. And this is just where I'm at right now, you know. And you know, maybe for part 3, part 4, there will be different answers, but. You know, I toss what I say to the wind, and then it's gone. It's traceless, you know. We're recording it on a video, but honestly, I don't hold myself to what I've said in the past so much as I did before, even though I think it is important for reflective purposes to see where I'm at now from where I was. But I'm trying to just, you know, live unbounded in this infinite sky of freedom with love and light, and not just carelessly. So what I say is not hurtful or coming from a place of unawareness. Much love.
One love.